We have reached our last segment discussing about eco-architecture for sustainable city concept. We're going to have another view from Professor Jason Pomeroy, founding principal at Pomeroy Studio, as well as keynote speakers at the forthcoming New Cities Summit here in Jakarta, Indonesia. Before we sum up and conclude our discussion, share with us more about Pomeroy Studio.
Well, Pomeroy Studio, we're designers and thought leaders of sustainable built environments. So we're made up of a very eclectic and international team of master planners who are designing cities, to landscape designers designing landscapes, to architects designing zero carbon buildings, interior designers, and all of this is underpinned by thought leadership. We have 3 fields of research relating to zero energy development and the role of sky courts and sky gardens. So basically a bunch of very, very clever people who have advised on governments and are having tenured professorships at various universities. And so it's a very interesting blend of kind of, thought leadership, research and design. And so that means that we're able to design commercially aware buildings from the macro scale of complete cities down to the micro scale of individual buildings. So zero carbon houses all the way through to zero carbon developments and cities and buildings. We're doing Trump Tower in Manila, for instance. I mean, that's quite an interesting one because that's going to be the tallest tower in the Philippines when completed in 2016. So our work is incredibly diverse, and it's wonderful to be part and parcel of such an engaging bunch of individuals. We've got 13 different nationalities in our studio, and I guess the only arguments we really have is when the World Cup is on. And obviously we've got 5 Italians in our studio, and they're all very passionate about it.
Interesting. Pomeroy Studio and Indonesia.
Yes.
In which kind of partnership actually we can expect in terms of using your assistance and knowledge and insights here?
Well, obviously we've been able to design hotels and resorts and offices and residences, and we have the privilege of working with people like Cinemas Land on BSD City and doing sort of very, very low energy business parks in that respect, resorts in Bali. So I think that we're in a fortunate position to be able to transfer our green design knowledge to a variety of different places. I mean, everybody assumes that you go to a resort in Bali, it's all about sheer delight, and yes, we can do that, but that doesn't mean that it can't be sustainable. When you think about some of the most natural resorts, it's all about having a lightness of touch on the landscape. And there's nothing better than having sort of a rainfall shower that actually makes you feel very, very up close and personal to nature.
I see.
So yeah, very, very fortunate.
I've been wondering about this, Professor. How will you project when we talk about the future phase of Jakarta city planning concept? What kind of new phase we can accept and talk about the future Jakarta? Let's focus on Jakarta.
Sure.
How do you outlook this?
When I think about Jakarta as a city of objects with tall buildings, but then you also got a network of streets that are a city of spaces. I think that the future of Jakarta in the 21st century is a hybrid city. You can borrow elements of the past, which I think are wonderful, the open spaces, the public parks, the network of the streets, and if you can reinterpret that with the objects and almost imagine a fusion of old and new to create this hybrid city with sky courts, sky gardens, public viewing galleries and terraces, also embracing infrastructure in the LRT system, also thinking about how renewable energies like solar cell technology can actually help reduce the reliance on fossil fuels. All of a sudden, we're then painting a very, very rich and lustrous view of Jakarta in the 21st century.
Thank you so much for your positivity about the future Jakarta. At least we still have this kind of hope towards a better Jakarta as this urban city, right? Before we close up our talk show, on your short, quick thought, what will be the main agenda you will be brought up to the New City Summit in Jakarta? You happen to be one of the keynote speakers there.
Well, keynote speaker, moderator. I mean, I think what's important to note with wonderful platforms like New City Summit is that it provides an opportunity to knowledge share and learn lessons from around the world in order to be able to translate and transpose those ideas into Jakarta. One particular bit that I really do like is What Works. What Works is a platform for innovators and thought leaders from around the world who have actually come up with particular ideas in their home territories and are willing to share it in a 6-minute segment to the audience. And I think it's incredibly challenging for anybody to get up on stage to speak for 6 minutes, and they do it very well.
And we will keep the business viewers updated about this coming New City Summit, especially it's being held here in Jakarta, Indonesia. Indeed. Professor Jason Pomeroy, you are the founding principal at Pomeroy Studio, as well as the keynote speakers, as well as moderators at the forthcoming New City Summit in Jakarta. Again, I really appreciate for your time. Thank you so much for the interesting and insightful discussion. Let's cross our finger and wish for the best for Jakarta.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Professor.
Thank you.
Let's wrap up our talk show for this time. Hope to have you soon. Economic Buzz with other issues to bring up in the discussion. I'm Erwin Suryabrata. Wishing you best luck in doing your business today. Talk about your business in Ebuzz, only on MNC Business. We are the first business channel in Indonesia.